Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got something a little different, something a little serious. We're talking about the top 10 countries where Filipinos are not allowed to enter or at least face serious restrictions. Now, you might be wondering, why? Is it because we're Filipinos? Or is it something else? Well, stay tuned, because we're diving deep into it, why these restrictions exist and what it means for us. Now, let's get into it. We know that Filipinos are one of the most well-traveled people in the world, and it's heartbreaking when we're told we can't enter a country. But sometimes, it's out of our control. Here are the top 10 countries where Filipinos face travel restrictions or outright bans. Number 1. North Korea. First on our list is North Korea. You probably guessed this one. North Korea has one of the most controlled borders in the world. It's a place where tourism is allowed, but only under strict government-controlled tours. As a Filipino, you can't just fly there on a whim. You need to be part of a government-approved group with a guide at all times. The reason? North Korea's isolationist policies and its strained relations with many countries, including the Philippines. So if you were thinking about an impromptu vacation there, think again. Number 2. Saudi Arabia. Next up, we have Saudi Arabia. Now, many Filipinos actually work in Saudi Arabia, especially in sectors like healthcare, construction, and domestic work. But if you've overstayed your visa, committed crimes, or violated labor laws, you could find yourself banned from entering. Saudi Arabia has some of the strictest immigration policies, and if you break any rules, you're looking at not just deportation, but a permanent ban from re-entering. And for those looking to go on a religious pilgrimage, make sure you have the proper Hajj visa. Without it, entry is almost impossible. Number 3. Bahrain. Bahrain is another country where Filipinos face restrictions. Filipinos travel to Bahrain for work, especially in the oil and service industries. But if you've broken any immigration rules in the past, like overstaying your visa or working illegally, you could face deportation, and worse, an entry ban. Even with all the Filipinos living and working there, if you have a past issue with visas, you're not getting back in anytime soon. Number 4. United Arab Emirates. Here's a country that hits close to home for many Filipinos. The United Arab Emirates. Whether it's Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or Sharjah, thousands of Filipinos live and work in the UAE. But, and this is crucial, if you violated the UAE's strict laws, whether it's overstaying your visa or committing a crime, you could face deportation and be banned from re-entering for years. And trust me, that's a tough pill to swallow when you're separated from family and your livelihood is on the line. Number 5. Indonesia. Moving on to Indonesia. While many Filipinos vacation here, especially in beautiful, there are restrictions if you've overstayed a previous visa or have been involved in illegal activities. The government is especially wary of nationals from the southern Philippines due to regional security concerns. That means, if you're from the Mindanao region, you may face extra scrutiny when applying for visas. The last thing you want is to be denied entry after dreaming about those white sandy beaches. Number 6. Malaysia. Next we have Malaysia, a country with a large Filipino expatriate community, but also a country that's known for cracking down on illegal immigration. If you're caught overstaying, or if you enter the country without the proper documents, Malaysia is very quick to deport you. In some cases, they might even blacklist you, making it impossible to enter the country again. So if you're planning to work there, make sure everything is in order, or else you might find yourself on the wrong side of immigration. Number 7. Singapore. Singapore may be a modern, welcoming country for most, but if you have a criminal record, or if you violated its strict immigration laws, you could be banned. Filipinos who've overstayed visas or been caught working illegally face deportation, and they're usually blacklisted for future entry. It's a tough situation, especially considering Singapore's growing need for foreign workers in various sectors. Number 8. Israel. Filipinos do travel to Israel, especially as caregivers or in the healthcare sector. However, entry is not guaranteed for everyone. If you're suspected of having ties to political groups or have overstayed your previous visa, entry can be denied. Israel's security concerns are real, and they don't hesitate to refuse entry if they feel there's any risk. Unfortunately, this means that some Filipinos face a permanent travel ban to Israel due to these factors. Number 9. Qatar. Qatar is another country that many Filipinos work in, particularly in construction. But just like other Gulf states, Qatar is very strict when it comes to immigration. If you overstay your visa or engage in illegal activities, you could face a permanent ban from the country. In fact, many workers have faced deportation for minor infractions. So, if you're planning to work in Qatar, make sure to follow the rules. Otherwise, you might be barred from re-entering for a long time. Number 10. Libya. And lastly, Libya. This one is particularly tough, and not just for Filipinos, but for all foreign nationals. Due to ongoing civil war and instability, Libya has closed its doors to most travelers. Even before the conflict, Libya had a strict immigration policy, but now, with the safety situation deteriorating, it's almost impossible for anyone to enter. The Philippines government advises against any travel to Libya, and for good reason. The situation is simply too dangerous. So there you have it. The top 10 countries where Filipinos face restrictions or outright bans. It's tough, especially when we love to explore and connect with the world. But remember, these bans aren't personal. They're often about safety, security, or the need to enforce immigration laws. If you're planning to travel, always make sure to check the visa rules and follow the regulations to avoid getting into trouble. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And hey, if you've ever been in a situation where you were denied entry or faced visa issues, let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Until next time, stay safe and keep traveling. Just make sure your visas are all in order.